call to order. Do we need to take a roll call?
Yes, we can. Trustee Pashima?
Here.
Trustee Braden?
Here.
Trustee Fisher? Here. Chairman Banky?
Here. So quick housekeeping item. We need a motion for the approval of the minutes for February 15th, 2022, July 19th, 2022, and September 19th of 2023.
Move to approve the minutes of the tree board meetings of February 15, 2022, July 19, 2022, and September 19, 2023.
And given that these date back as many as 2 years, do we have any changes that anyone recalls?
Well, I actually had one question.
Okay.
So I had in my notes, because I did actually save my notes from these meetings, believe it or
Wow.
not, that at the September 19 meeting, that Michelle was there by phone. And I don't know whether that's relevant for purposes of meeting and quorum.
Yes, I'll amend the minutes.
Okay. So that was
By
all I
phone.
had, yes.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. And we will move on to the discussion and recommendation for 201 North Oak Street. John, can you give us some background, please?
Sure, this is a submittal from the Seventh-day Adventist Church to request a permit to remove a shared property white oak tree. It's about 85% on public right-of-way, 15% on church property. It is on the Walnut Parkway, a little, maybe 30, 40 feet east of the Oak Street intersection. It's a large mature tree, about 70 feet in height, and the canopy width is about 50 feet. There's no significant structural issues or health issues with the tree, but there are a couple points of concern. One is there is a natural lean of the tree. It's grown up around existing trees on the church property to find sunlight, and in that process has overgrown some three-phase power lines that run east-west on Walnut Street. So there's a target above those power lines. There's been a little bit of utility clearance on the tree over the years, and in the most recent sidewalk reconstruction, some root damage is evident when they tore up an old couple squares of sidewalk. They must have hit a little bit of the tree. That's in the picture that I submitted. And there's a little bit of wound area at the base of the tree.
And so the applicant is also calling for a waiver of the fee that would normally be associated with that. Is that correct?
I don't believe they are requesting a waiver. of
When
the
I
fee.
read, maybe I misread it.
We have not submitted a formal request for waiver.
Okay, then it was my mistake. I misread it.
We'd be happy to make that request.
Yes. Well, and in fairness, so well, first of all, I'm going to make a couple general comments. So that, as you may be well, I mean, the purpose of the tree board, we're a tree village. We take our trees very seriously here. And that when a parkway tree, particularly of the percentage that is, over 50%, I don't even know if it matters, if it's on village land, that we have to actually adjudicate whether that tree can be removed. And the guidelines which we have, your tree ordinarily would not qualify, simply because it's a healthy tree, even though it's not the best looking tree. I did take a look at it. Nonetheless, that's why it comes to this board for some comments, and for ultimately a decision on that. The one thing that was very important to me was the fact that one of the big reasons that you are doing this, you're doing it for several reasons that you cited, but one of the big reasons is to accommodate, as you say, the disabled and elderly are unable to unload in the front entrance, the main floor, and the sanctuary. It'll allow them to basically, you're going to put in this driveway. It'll allow people with disabilities to be able to more easily enter the building without some difficulty. So to me, that's a very important point of why you're making this request. And also, it's a general improvement to the property, but the ADA component of it is very important to me. With those comments, I'd like to turn it over to the other members of the board for their comments and any other questions.
Is it possible to move the driveway closer to the intersection, or is that not?
We have already received some preliminary comment that the village staff is a little uncomfortable with the closer toward the intersection is probably the non-starter.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
There are quite a bit of utilities along Walnut Street, and there's a guy wire on one of the utility poles that impacts the entrance to the proposed entrance to the church
Got it.
improvements.
We're significantly hemmed in by the existing improvements, both the intersection utilities, the existing parking lot driveway, entrance further down, and any other route. Although it doesn't impact parkway trees, will cause 4 to 6 other mature trees on the property, to be taken down that, as of right now, with the current plan, are unaffected by this.
Michelle, Alexis, do you have any questions?
I just had one question, just perhaps as a point of clarification. In one of the letters, it indicates that you're having an improved landscaping plan and removing trees. Are those parkway trees or are those trees that are on the property proper?
Any other trees right now that are being removed are on the property.
Okay.
Only to facilitate the routing of the driveway across the road.
Thank you.
And there's yet to be soft costs spent by the church on any enhancements or but it's something they are actually.
Thank you.
So, even, and I'm, so I know that we're supposed to, John, have we had a discussion about, planting other trees or another tree, in substitution? I think I read that as well. And I know that you have a whole landscape plan ahead of you.
Which admittedly does not include anything in the parkway, but the church is not against providing other tree plantings in the parkway to supplant the removal of this.
Right. Well, my initial thoughts are this, and we'll see whether the rest of the board agrees with this, is that I actually would be in favor of waiving the $5,000 fee because you are going to be planting other trees, and you're a church, you have a public use on multiple levels. I believe you serve 2 different congregations, your own and a supplemental, I think it's a Presbyterian congregation. And that, those monies, instead of going toward, I mean, again, not that the village can't use, but it's a fee that's in place for really to discourage people from removing trees. But I believe that this tree it's warranted. This is not my decision. It's a vote by the board. So these are my comments, and I would be curious to know whether other members of the board agree with that.
No, I'm fully in favor of that. And actually, I go to Trinity, and we have a member in our congregation who's in a wheelchair, and he always has to go around from the parking lot. It's very inconvenient, so,
Very circuitous route.
yeah, so I think it's a great idea.
So do I have a motion, or do you have any objections?
No objections.
So to me, the motion is we will permit the removal of the tree. We'll have a fee waiver. And also, if you're going to work with the village, and also we would like to have a tree replacement or trees replacement that's in alignment with your landscaping plans. And, yeah. Good. So, that's it. Does everybody agree with that motion?
Yeah.
Yep.
Second.
Do we have a second? I think motion's approved. Roll call vote, yeah, I'm sorry, roll call vote.
Trustee Pashima?
Aye.
Trustee Braden?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Chairman Banky?
Aye. Motion's approved.
Appreciate your time, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a nice week.
John, when we reach that point, we'll look for recommendations on solutions for the updating that grade based on the coverage of the conduit infrastructure, et cetera.
We'll meet. So tomorrow, or the next day or two, I'll send you a permit application. It'll need to be filled out by the contractor actually doing the work, and we'll need a certificate of insurance.
Oh.
Yes, doing the
Like the
doing the work. So not a GC or anything. And they'll have to provide you'll have to provide a certificate of insurance just because it's on public right away.
Yeah.
Okay? And then give me a call with a question.
Sample of that for the certificate of insurance that names the village?
Additionally insured, yeah. They can usually just email it over, yeah. Okay?
Okay, thanks, guys. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.